Gentlelady yields back. I now recognize Mr. Wied from the great state of Wisconsin for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to all the great witnesses here today. This is a very good discussion and very important to our priority in reindustrializing this great country. And I think just really appreciate all of your expertise. In my district, from paper to shipbuilding, plastics to heavy manufacturing, Northeast Wisconsin is a manufacturing powerhouse employing almost a quarter of the working population. In my district, also 90% of all manufacturers are small businesses. We obviously have a lot of challenges. Some of the challenges that we face are difficulty in finding skilled workers. And of course, we see a declining interest in our trades. And so obviously that's one of the major issues that we're dealing with. First question I'd like to go to, though, Mr. Voss, in your statement, you talked about companies that you work with overseas. In your experience that you said were eating the cost of tariffs. Can you expand on your experience in working with other companies and importing and the cost of tariffs?
Sure. So through the years, we have imported from manufacturers abroad. We still do. A much lesser percentage of the goods that we distribute come from foreign sources. But the ones that we continue to do now, we have not seen an increase in our costs because we've pushed back. Because frankly, if they would have put the burden of the tariff on us, they would have no longer been competitive. So in that case, the tariff did exactly what it was supposed to do, in that they took a smaller slice of the pie rather than passing it on to the consumer here. And moving forward, we're seeing input costs, polycarbonate resin, for example, the cost of that is coming down. And that's reflected in our pricing to our customers and our customers' pricing in the marketplace.
What would be the cause of those prices coming down? Or what would be the reason for that?
Well, first of all, competition. Second of all, they're petroleum-based, and the cost of petroleum has come down over the last couple of years, or last year for sure, not couple.
And I also want to expand on your experience that you have right now in partnering with the Irish company to reshore the polycarbonate manufacturing. How has controlling your supply chain benefited you? And tell us about that experience.
Well, a good example, and I tell this story, we were the master distributor for a couple of very large manufacturers, big companies. And we periodically get the dear valued customer letter that the price is going up due to various things that they articulate in the letter. Well, it was just at that time that we were having a routine review of our business model with our newfound partner. And our deal was that we were going to buy from, in other words, the polycarbonate manufacturing company sells to one of our company too, our sister company. And we were talking about the pricing along that. And we were pushing back because the pricing had come down a little bit since the last time we had reviewed this. And at the same time, at the same week that we got letters from two of the major manufacturers saying that the pricing had gone up, in talking to our partner who buys polycarbonate resin, they're one of the biggest polycarbonate manufacturers in the world, they said, well, that's not surprising because the cost of resin has actually come down. We wouldn't have known that as a distributor, but as a manufacturer, we do know that. So again, having our future in the hands of either foreign companies or companies that maybe are owned by private equity are different than having control of your own future. And so that was a big driving force in our strategy.
Well, how, in your opinion, how are manufacturers, what's their ability to reshore, expand their operations? How are they hurt by over-regulation? I hear about regulation. I was in my own business for 30 years. I struggled with overreaching government regulations on a daily basis, very, very costly, to $50,000 per employee. Can you expand?
Well, all I can say is, my experience is that, what starts off as a good idea morphs and evolves, and you have people that are implementing those policies and procedures, and they get overzealous and they want to justify their existence. And those bureaucracies continue to increase, and many times the regulations expand beyond what the original scope was intended to be. We haven't frankly encountered that to a large degree, so it's hard for me to comment specifically on that.
All right. Thank you again to all the witnesses. With that, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.